Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Leon, a postdoc researcher from the Dense and Green Cities module, FCL. My work is mainly about the environmental assessment, especially in the urban heat aspect, to provide some performance-based solutions for urban design and planning. So as Prof. Thomas has mentioned some aspects of what and how, and I'm going to just directly jump into how, the aspect of how in the environmental performance. It's about to explore the urban heat on two wheels. So in the environmental package, there are three main parts in terms of the methodology. They are the mobile survey, image processing, and urban heat mapping. So in the mobile survey, it is to know the weather conditions and the visual environments through some devices on a bike. And after that, we use some deep learning tools and computer vision tools to decode the visual images into something that we are interested and related to the urban thermal comfort. In terms of the urban heat mapping, that is to visualize what we found from these environmental variables, and to better visualize them for urban architects and planners. So in the mobile survey, as you can see here, there are three main devices. The first one is called the heat stress tracker. Actually, it is a portable weather station. You can take that everywhere if you like. I mean, if you are interested in some streets or whatever places. And it can measure the air temperature, relative humidity, wind speed, and solar radiation. In terms of the solar radiation, it's transformed temperature based on the air temperature and the solar radiation. The other device is called the Insta360 camera. It can capture the image in different angles, like a 360 degree or 150 degree. So in our study, we used the 360 image for our further analysis. Actually, we used the 360 angle image, which is further transformed into the panoramic image to do the image processing. The third one is a smartphone which can record the GPS information, and this GPS information is further used to coordinate with different data sets, which can be used for further geospatial analysis. Actually, having these devices prepared is not enough. It is also important to have a well-designed survey route to have a more effective data collection. So, this is it's a case in the one-offs. I just use this example to show the importance of designing the mobile survey route. So we selected the key sidewalks which have the heavy pedestrian traffic, and we took the peak temperature hours of the day to do the measurement, because the topic is on the urban heat stress. And this is also a consideration of the battery battery and memory constraints when you use these devices. So we just we just took the peak temperature hours about it. Actually, it's from like 12 p.m. to 15 p.m. during the sunny day, and actually there were some lessons we find from the mobile survey. We have to keep low cycling speed, say it's 8 km per hour, to stabilize the devices on the bike. This is to have some more accurate data. And we also have to stop for a while every 5 minutes to measure the wind speed, because you have to be there, not on a running bike, to collect the wind speed. And also we label different streets because different streets have different microclimate, especially the wind direction is different. Say for the vertical or horizontal streets, so we just label different streets for further evaluation of the microclimate in each labeled district. Then with the captured panoramic images, we used some deep learning tools to just decode to transform the raw image into the segmented image, and through this way we can take some useful information for the thermal comfort analysis. So here we used a pre-trained deep learning model called SegFormer to decode the street view image into the segmented urban elements such as the greenery, sky, or buildings, etc. And this model is of low computational cost, and it's have some guidelines online, so we select this model, and also we picked it up because of the decent accuracy of this model. After the image segmentation, we have further transformation from the panoramic image into the fisheye image, because this is a common practice for thermal comfort study to utilize the view factor information to, say, correlate with the thermal comfort index. And yeah, the figure 8 is the semantically segmented image. Then B is further transformed fisheye semantic image. Then C is an example of what we picked from the fisheye semantic image for the sky view factor calculation. So you can see the white color is further masked based on the fisheye semantic image. And we used the computer vision tool in the Python to convert a panoramic image into a fisheye one. And this is an automatic process because we have thousands of images to process. So yeah, it's better to use this kind of advanced tools to do this labor-intensive work. And with all these variables, we further to map these variables on a map to have some spatial view of what happened in the district level. So we used an embedded tool in the ArcGIS called inverse distance weighted interpolation to interpolate what we measured, say the air temperature in 1 to spatially distributed air temperature map. And with this map, you can have a quick idea of where are the hotspots of, say, the heat stress. Yeah. And here is the summary of the flow of the data, because I think data is kind of mined for researchers. That's why there's a concept called data mining, which was originated quite a few years ago. So on the left is the raw data, which we collected with all those devices on the bike, say the meteorological variables, include air temperature, wind speed, humidity, and global temperature. This global temperature is transfer temperature through the solar radiation. And with all these four variables, commonly used thermal comfort index called a physiological equivalent temperature was further calculated for our analysis. And besides the meteorological variables, we also collect the GPS coordinates and also the panoramic image. And yeah, as I just mentioned, these panoramic images can be further segmented into the images with only, say, the sky or greenery. And with these images, we can further obtain the view factor, say the sky view factor or the green view factor. And and lastly, we just combine all these data, consolidated this data into the geospatial data sets. And actually, we have also some ongoing analysis with these data sets. Researchers from different backgrounds have different perspective of how to play with this data. So if you are interested, please feel free to reach me. Oh, here is a short video demo of the case study in 1OS. Yeah, this is one of the two bicyclists who cycled in the 1OS to capture the visual image and also also collected the environmental data sets along the frequently used sidewalks. Oh, oops. Oh, that's all for my side. Now I open the floor for your question.
I think maybe just for the benefit of the audience, you will also share some of the key insights which we found from this methodology about in terms of the comparison of the sites in terms like which parts and whatnot we found to be killer.
Oh, okay. Actually, I thought I need mainly address the how aspect of, so in terms of the findings, we through the analysis we found 1OS is, 1OS can provide a better thermal comfort than the control site of Science Park 1. Not only the thermal comfort index, which I mentioned, PET, physiological equivalent temperature, but also the wind speed, especially in the subsite of Fukushima Polis. Yes, and we also have some finding of, just the correlation analysis between the green view factor and a sky view factor with the thermal comfort index, and we find that it's better to increase the green view factor. That means it's good to have more trees along the sidewalks to provide not just the shading effect, but also lowering the street temperature. Yeah, please.
What did you make?
Can you say who you are?
Yes, one of the materials from snow. Why did you make panoramic or 3D picture if I know that you only use an observed picture?
The panoramic image.
Yes. I mean, finally you transform it into a fisheye, right?
Yeah.
So why do you do what do you do A instead of going to B directly?
You mean how would I?
So what's the purpose?
Oh, so sky view factor actually is index calculated based on the fisheye image. So in order to obtain the sky view factor, I have to use a fisheye image because this is a common practice. Then that comes why I transform from the panoramic image to the fisheye image.
You did not have a proper way of taking the fisheye, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
There are cameras that take fisheye pictures directly, is what I mean.
No, actually, the 360-degree camera was collected for not just this study.
Okay.
So we had other studies, like there is another package which looks into the segmentation and how do we quantify the different urban elements versus the performance of not just the environmental, but also the architectural, the social, and vibrancy part. So actually, the 360-degree camera was used for many other studies. So it just so happens that you have that information, so you can also then use it for the.
I like the machine learning approach and all that stuff. It's nice.
Yeah.
And about did you use at some point the information? So you were talking about the green ratio.
Yeah, the green view factor.
Blue ratio or whatever. Did you use the surface information to evaluate the thermal comfort, or only
So in terms of surface information, you mean the surface temperature, or actually
how much greenery in the surface there is? Did you use this information, or you only use what you're seeing, the trees?
where actually what we consider is that at the thermal comfort at each location, say at a specific longitude and latitude, is affected by the surrounding information. So the 360 image can capture what are those surroundings. And yeah, that's why we collected this 360 image and tried to extract some information, visual information from this image to see the impacts of surrounding environments, say the greenery, on the thermal comfort index. Yeah.
And another question.
Sure.
How many rounds you gave to the building? How many tries?
Actually, we tried several times. That's why we have some lessons from the mobile survey. After that, we figured out to cover the Wanoz, the whole district of Wanoz, we only have the time window of 3 hours. That's why we just targeted at the period from 12 p.m. to 15 p.m., which are the hottest hour during a sunny day.
Several days or just one day? That's all?
Oh, you mean the data used for analysis?
My suggestion would be if you are trying to say that one of the districts or one of the buildings or whatever, one part of it is better than the other one, perhaps you need to go several times and measure, right?
Yeah, I mean, for machine learning or just these AI tools, yeah, if you can feed more data into the tool, it's better. But considering, Singapore is an island state, the weather, changes frequently. Say sometimes the thermal comfort is affected by, some clouds just over your head, right? So we, you know, took a lot of time to to check the weather forecast to see whether it's a fully sunny day, then do the measurement. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Chang Yan from Savannah Jewel. I'm interested in your next slide.
Oh, sure.
Okay, this slide, if I'm not wrong, the areas covered biopolis. Yes, in biopolis, as far as I understand it, the site building blocks are actually quite small and they're not rectangular. So the urban heat there is the strongest. What are the lessons you could try to share with us, like typical or a good size to avoid or minimize the urban heat in that area? Because I know the sites are probably less than 1 hectare each, and the shape is very sharp on the site. So is there something you can tell us, and setback requirements for coverage that can allow more and reduce the wind tunnel and all that? That would be good for us when we do our planning of the urban design or height of buildings.
Okay.
Viability of the building surfaces also.
Well, based on the survey I took there in the biopolis, for those hot areas, I mean the areas with high temperature, they are exposed to, most of them are exposed to exposed under the sun. That means there are fewer shading there. Yeah, just I mean if you compare the biopolis to fusionopolis, you have idea that in fusionopolis there are many high buildings, and the percentage of shading areas in fusionopolis is much higher than biopolis. And also in biopolis, some parts of some sidewalks in biopolis are with young trees. I mean the shading in effect is not that obvious with these young trees along the sidewalks. That's why some parts of the biopolis were of higher thermal discomfort.
I think what you are asking is whether we are able to give you a clarity on what should be the spaces between the buildings,
Size of a building block, a city block.
I don't think this particular study addressed that portion because it was really looking at the green sky view factor and the green view factor along the streets. But we are in the process of interpolating it when we combine all the different case studies. I mean, all the different work packages. So hopefully that would be something we'll address towards the later part.
We have urban designers also on the team, right? So we're very interested in what urban morphology works actually best, right? But we have to wait a little. We're still in collecting data and interpreting these things, and so we'll talk again. We'll come back with more answers.
So maybe the next year we'll have some more
That's right.
insights to share when we have put together all the different work packages.
But you see already from these two sub-studies that there are certain sub-sites that seem to perform better than others in the larger district.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, we have an ongoing pilot study which is named as Walk in a Metaverse Street. So this ongoing research is to investigate different, urban forms or shading forms can provide thermal comfort for different types of people. I mean, people with different demographics.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Marije Schilder from Witwetbos, an engineer consultant firm. And I was wondering, I saw you using the Raymond model to calculate the physical equivalent temperature. And does that take into account also the local Singapore culture?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for your question. Yeah, in the estimation of the thermal comfort index PET, we assumed, ordinary human with, the common clothes and trousers in Singapore. So actually, in the model, it is an adapter with 1.7 meters height and at the age of 35 years old, with shirts and short pants. So yeah, I mean that's part of considering the local culture in the the clothing part.
And also how people feel temperature. I mean, when I just arrived in Singapore, I felt temperature different than
Sure.
after staying here for a year. So does that model also take into account how people are used to the temperature and the weather?
Actually, we haven't addressed this because this is a bit more complex because thermal comfort is also related to the thermal history, say where you come from, because you have a different experience of the thermal comfort from your region. Yeah. Maybe, in the future. I mean, it's a bit complex. So here, I think to have a more, profounder insights from the thermal comfort study, it's better to have some statistics of the demographic or the people in the district. Then you address the main part of the people. I mean, you take the average parameters of people in the district, say what age, the gender, or what kind of clothes they usually wear. Then I mean that might be a more profound study from the thermal comfort.
Yeah, and are you also planning to compare then the Singapore research with the Swiss research, for instance?
I think so.
Okay.
No, I
Because
think
yeah.
No, because the contexts are different, and in
Yeah.
Swiss, they are working on similar thermal studies, but maybe the scale is also a bit different. It may not go down to the micro scale of where we are measuring every street. So they might look at a larger context, but yes, there would be comparisons across in terms of the thermal comforts for the districts.
Yeah, that would be very interesting because our company developed together with Wageningen University in the Netherlands, the national physical equivalent temperature map for the Netherlands and Belgium. And there we also collaborated it for the local weather conditions and culture. So that's also something I was wondering whether Singapore is also working on that, so we can join forces somehow.
Well, that's certainly an interesting discussion we should have, right? I mean, it wasn't something we were planning, but this sounds definitely something we should consider.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
There's
Oh,
one
sure,
more.
please.
There have already been studies regarding the acceptability criteria for the PT. And currently in Singapore, local people have done it, and it is between 21.6 and 31.6. So whatever is in between 21.6 and 31.6, people would be happy. Above that, or would be unhappy. And I mean, that is work done time ago by NUS and SMU, and currently including Singapore being done. That was done in Botanic Gardens, and now they're doing it in Vision Park. And they plan to do it also in the urban area, in Vision Park. So kind of a calibration of the acceptability criteria I think is relevant to what you were commenting, right? The adaptation of people. People from abroad might be unpleasant, but local people might be happy.
Thanks. Thanks.